A single cry shatters the primordial silence, a sound that rips through an age of ice, unleashing the fury of a hunt born from desperation, a violent gamble where survival is the only prize. But this chaos is an illusion, this deafening storm of pounding hooves and thundering hearts, this deadly dance with titans. It does not tell the true story of its own beginning. Its true genesis was not in the roar, but in the profound quiet that came before it. It began in the silent language of a shared glance, in the held breath of an unseen predator. It began with the patience of an hour, the resolve of a day, the accumulated wisdom of a lifetime of patience. In a world sculpted by wind and ice, survival is a silent art. Here, on the endless plains of the Pleistocene, patience is a weapon and silence a shield. The wind alone speaks, whispering through the tall, dry grass, a constant witness to the ancient drama of existence. Beneath this vast, indifferent sky, life clings on, not with roars but with the quiet resolve of the hunter. For hours, they have moved as shadows, becoming one with the earth. Every muscle is trained, every breath controlled. These are men shaped by necessity, their bodies lean and hard like the stones they sharpen for their spears. Their hands, calloused and stained by the soil, do not tremble. They move with a grace born of absolute focus, pushing aside the brittle vegetation with a slowness that defies the gnawing hunger in their bellies. An eye, dark and intense, peers through a sliver in the grass. It is an eye that reads the world in signs, the bend of a stalk, the direction of the wind. It sees everything and reveals nothing. They are a single organism, a predatory extension of the tundra itself, inching forward through a world that offers no second chances. The hunt has begun long before the prey is seen. It begins here in this crushing, deliberate patience. The slow journey finds its edge. Kale, the leader, whose face is a map of seasons and hunts past, reaches the precipice where the tall grass ends. He freezes, a statue of worn leather and hardened resolve. Slowly, deliberately, he raises his head, and the world changes. The mystery is solved not with a whisper, but with a thunderous silence. There, grazing under the pale sun, are the giants of this lost age. A herd of woolly mammoths, monuments of flesh and fur, moving with the slow, inexorable rhythm of glaciers. The sight is a blow to the senses, a vision of power so immense it borders on the divine. The soft sounds of their chewing, the rustle of their great bodies, carry on the wind. A song of life in a harsh land. For a moment the hunt is forgotten, replaced by a primal awe. But only for a moment. The camera finds the faces of the others as they join their leader's gaze. In the eyes of Lian, the youngest, a fire is lit. A reflection of the colossal beasts, a flicker of fear. But it is the raw, desperate ache of hunger that sharpens his stare. For all of them, the awe is now intertwined with a cold calculation. This is not a god to be worshipped, but a mountain of meat, a promise of warmth, a chance to see another sunrise. The stakes are laid bare on the open plain. It is their lives against the life of the Titan. The moment of awe passes, leaving behind the cold steel of purpose. Concealed by the curtain of grass, the hunters remain motionless. Kale's experienced eyes scan the herd, a predator's mind assessing risk and reward. He dismisses the great bulls, their massive curved tusks a clear warning. He looks past the watchful mothers, fiercely protective of their young. His gaze is a weapon, searching for a weakness, an opportunity. And then he finds it. A younger individual, strong but not yet at its full might, grazing slightly apart from the herd's protective core. The choice is made. A silent consensus is sought, a language without words that has bound them together for a lifetime. Kale's eyes meet those of his men. A subtle shift in his posture, a slight jut of his chin toward the chosen target, is all that is needed. The message is sent and received. Beside him, Lian takes a slow, deep breath, the cold air burning his lungs. He forces the adrenaline down, transforming the nervous energy into focused readiness. In the profound silence, a new sound emerges, subtle and internal. A slow, deep heartbeat. It is the drumbeat of impending action, the rhythm of a predator coiled to strike. The final signal is given, and the world, once held in a state of suspended silence, shatters. With guttural cries that tear through the air, the hunters explode from their cover. The stillness is replaced by a storm of motion. They are no longer shadows but agents of chaos, their bodies uncoiling with explosive energy. The herd reacts instantly. A ripple of panic turns into a wave of terror. The ground begins to tremble, a deep, resonant thunder that vibrates through bone and sinew. It is the sound of megafauna in flight, a stampede of living mountains. But the hunter's charge is not mindless. It is a focused storm. They run with purpose, their movements strategic, designed to deepen the confusion. The first spears are thrown. They are not aimed to kill, but to guide, to steer the panic. They strike the ground near their target, chipping away at its nerve, forcing it away from the safety of the fleeing herd. The chaos is their ally, a tool they wield with precision to isolate their chosen prey from the thundering tide of its kin. The strategy succeeds. The main herd vanishes into the horizon, a disappearing storm of dust and fur. Left behind is a single isolated mammoth, its panic now condensing into pure, focused rage. The true battle begins. The hunters, gasping for air, slow their pace, spreading out to form a fluid, menacing circle around the beast. What follows is a lethal dance, a choreography of survival written in the blood-soaked earth. The mammoth charges, a battering ram of flesh and fury, its tusks scything through the air. But the hunters are like water. They flow away from the force, diving and rolling, letting the momentum of the beast become its own weakness. And in the wake of each charge, they respond. They dart in from the flanks, quick and sharp, their spears striking like the fangs of a wolf pack. Each attack is a risk, each retreat a breath held in suspense. It is a visceral contest. The brute, monolithic power of the mammoth against the agile, intelligent, and coordinated deadliness of man. The dance of death takes its toll. The great beast, weakened by blood loss and exhaustion, begins to slow. Its charges become sluggish, its movements desperate rather than precise. The hunters see the opening, the moment the entire hunt has been building towards. In a final, coordinated act of predatory genius, Kale moves to the front, making himself the sole focus of the beast's fading rage. It is the ultimate distraction. As the mammoth gathers itself for one last futile charge at the leader, the others move in. The circle tightens. Spears, held now with both hands, are driven home into vital points. A shudder runs through the colossal frame. The giant stops. It trembles, a mountain on the verge of collapse. A final, agonized bellow tears from its lungs, a sound of profound pain that echoes across the silent plain. Then its great knees buckle. With a slow, majestic finality, the titan falls, striking the earth with a sound like a crack of thunder. And then silence. The music, the action, the fury all cease. The hunters stand, leaning on their spears, chests heaving, their breath clouding the cold air. They do not cheer. They watch in silent, exhausted reverence. Around them lies their prize, their survival, won at a brutal cost. The world holds its breath before the screen fades to black.